Oh, didn't see you there. I found a digger down the road from me. A few weeks ago we watched, well maybe a week ago now, we watched Black 5 come up the coast. And I was talking about the wall, they were going to do work on the wall. And they put this big metal road down. But this is turned up today, this big rail track machine, like a digger it's got tyres on it, but it's also got train wheels on it, so it can run on the tracks, and it's got these big claws on the front. Oh, and it's making funny noises. I think like it's moved then on its handbrake. But they've got another digger a bit further down, what I'll show you, and they've got a telehandler with some equipment on what we'll show you. But this has got some big claws on, so I don't know what this is. Are they going to rip the banking out of the seawall with it, or are they going to move big rocks? I don't really know. But it's some bit of kit. It's a stowback rail one. It's the same sort of thing as like you always online, you can get Land Rovers or Unimogs on train wheels and they run up and down. But they do diggers as well. So it'd be interesting to see what they do with this. But I'll show you what they got further up. And because they're more obvious what they're doing, but I don't know what this is for. Obviously they've got to use this when the line's shut, because when you can't use it on a busy line, you know. So it'd probably be at night time, because the amount of lights all over it, lights up backs and lights up front, it must be working in the night. But it'd be interesting to see what that's doing. But I'll look online and drop you a picture of one of these actually online, not this one, but another one on a line somewhere, and show you what they do. But yeah, let's go and look at the other one. Right, so we're on the seaside now, well, we're on the coast, and this is this big metal road that I was on the other day, and this is the start of the equipment they've got on this side, and they've got this big metal box. Oh, there's a train coming. Oh, there's a 195. Be a Manchester train. No, it says Lancaster on it. There will be. There you go. Wasn't many people on that. Anyway, so they've so on this side, this first thing they've got is this big metal box, and it says diesel on it, but it's got power on top of it. It's got a little solar panel on top. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if this has got power in for something, or has it got batteries in it, or is it a little generator or something, you know? I don't really know what it is. But he's got it on his chain so he can lift it up with his digger. Maybe it's to power something, I think. I think actually down the bottom they've got a pump what they fill up a power washer with, and that's got power going to it. So I don't know if they plug it into this and that powers it. I think that could be what it is. But yeah, and then you've got this behind, what's another digger, another stowback rail. But this one is your standard digger, and it's on tracks. It's cool. Look at mud on it from all the sand, and tell you what, need power wash that off, because in a few years time it'll be rusty in that will, or that salt on that. So it's very muddy from working down there. And this, he's got it, oh, you might be able to see it, it's got this attachment on the end, but it's upside down, so you might not be able to see it. So when this attachment, the other day when we had a look, it was stood on its end, and you could see what was inside of it, and inside of it is about 3 big brushes, like you get on a, oh no, actually there's a hole here, you might be able to see in the top. Let me get an old light out. Oh, hold on. Can you see in there? I'll just brighten it up a bit. I don't know. So in there, I don't know if you can see, there's some big brushes, what they are, like do like a sweeping truck you get on the street, like that. And so they're in there, and it's got these rollers on the end so it can run along flat surfaces, and he's got his working lights. And I think what it's to do with, oh, I could put that in there, is if you see over here, see the top layer, there's a wall, sea wall, and this is the banking going up to it. And on the top, if you see the wall and the top of the banking, it's clear. Like the rest of the bottom's got grass on it, and that's what the top used to look like. So I think it brushes it all off, cleans it, and gets everything out the cracks and that. So when, obviously they're going to do work on it, when all the grass and dirt and everything's out of it, so you can go and fill these rocks in, because if you see there, they look like we'll walk over here, I'll show you. There, see where all the rocks moved over many, many years of being battered by storms, sea, all sorts of weather. It's moved, and I think this is getting really weak, and I think they're going to repoint it. When you repoint a house, I think they're going to do that with this. So they're clearing all this dirt off, and then they'll redo it. So I don't know if they'll take it all out and reseat it, or will they just put cement down the edges. I don't know, we'll have to see. Maybe do an update on a later video and show you. But this is what they're doing so far, and they're slowly going along the top to the bottom with this machine behind us. Down there they've got we'll show you that, they've got a telehandler and some big concrete barriers, what they got delivered the other day on the back of a stowback rail truck. So I don't know what they're for. And then further down is a power washer. But yeah, that's the update on what they're doing so far, but we'll have a look down there and show you the rest. But this is what this road was about the other week when we were doing pictures of the Black 5. This is what it's made for, getting all these diggers and machinery down here to restoration of the sea wall. Very good, proper job. Do you know what they're doing, these lads? Proper job. So this is the telehandler they've got, and it's all covered in dirt like the other one. And I think this is to move what they delivered the other day, those big concrete barriers. So I don't know what they're for. I don't know if they're going to put them around the machine so sea comes in, they don't batter them, or they're going to use that when they reinforce the wall. I don't know what's going to happen with them. But this telehandler's really good. I think it's one of the ones that's got getting blown away. It's dead windy. It's got 4-wheel steering. The back wheels I think stay the same as the front wheels, so it's dead removable when you're in small sites. But it's good. I could telehandler. They're cool bits of kit. And these big rock, the barriers, and they've got rebarb and they look like they've been from somewhere else. They're a bit like when you go on the motorway and you sometimes got roadworks and you split you up and they put these big concrete barriers down the middle. It looks a bit like them. But they look like they've been bashed about, so I don't know what the idea of them. I think they protect the machines or something, because they don't look brand new like they're going to use them. So I think it's mainly for their sort of safety, I think. It stayed up. Look, I pushed this in, but look, it stayed up. It's all. But you come round back of here. Look here. It looks like it's been shot. It's got a hole in the front, and all this is blown out. So I don't know who's been down here, but it doesn't look good. But anyway, it stayed up. My pushing in skills worked. Anyway. So here you can see where they've really scrubbed, and I think really power washed. Really, they've scrubbed it off, but it looks like it's actually been power washed as well. I'm going to show you what the machine they used. But this is what obviously was growing up there, or on top of the wall. There's lots of bushes on top of the wall, and this is what they pulled off first, and then they've really scrubbed it with a power washer, and that's brought out even more. And I think that's mainly what a lot of this dirt is, even though it's sand where the sea's pushed it over the road. I think a lot of the dirt's come off the wall and washed down, so I'm covered in dirt. These like big tumbleweeds you get in America. You're in Utah and you got one of these blowing across, when it's windy. So, but it's an English one. This is. It's probably a lot heavier as well. We've got a little petrol generator running a big power washer, big industry power washer. Nothing like you get like your Karcher for doing your car. That's proper stuff to peel your paint off with. And they got a big tank on the back of it, and I think you actually fill it up with seawater, because obviously they're next to the sea. Because they've got a pump right down the bottom, and then they've also got behind camera, there's a big storage container, what they must keep stuff in as well. But I think a lot of it comes out the sea. And he's got his big lance there, and he's got his reel. Looks like it's hydraulic. That's your pump and whatever. Because that's the engine, but then this is your pump, but it looks hydraulic. And then you go up to your lance is tucked down the back, and then this is your hose on this reel. And then the tank behind. And a little like Alpha Williams trailer it's sat on. Hope it don't get washed away. Because it has some big tides up here, pick it up and wash it away, that would. You won't see it again. But it's really good. And obviously I've just shown you. But here, I think they've actually started to do this. Just looking at it, it looks like it's been filled in with sand, or it isn't cement, it looks like sand, like proper, like when you do power washing on a driveway and you power wash, you take all the original sand out and it gives you gaps between, like I was showing up there, the gaps between the rocks, and then you refill them with sand. So when I was saying they may be filling with cement, obviously they might be actually putting sand in, like what you do on your driveway. No, it could be concrete. Quite solid. No, it could be concrete, that. I think, actually my original idea, yeah, they've put concrete in it to stop it moving. So I think they've actually started it. Maybe that isn't a power washer. Well, it might be a power washer, but it could be one of those big spray cement guns and spray the concrete into it. And obviously they fill water into that tank there, take the telehandler, pick that container up, take it down, fill it up, bring it up here and fill that tank up, mix it with cement and spray it in here. That's probably what it is. So yeah, I think we could be on something there. I think that's what they're doing, and they've just started here. I don't know how much of this they've done. It doesn't look like a lot. Looks like only today's work, but it's quite hard. This might be a few days old, this. It looks a big job to me. I think it's going to take a few months to do. But autumn's coming and winter's coming, so I don't think they've got long before they're battling with the weather every day. So be interesting to see what they do like. So one of the things you still see on, well, you see them all the time on lines, but you get so used to seeing them, whistle signs. And if you really think about it, it's 52 years ago since end of steam, and when steam engines have whistles, and now we have diesels and electrics and they have horns, so they've still got a whistle board. So you could have a H and have a horn board, but maybe it's just such an industry standard from all those years that you still have a whistle board. And you do have steam still on main line, but it's not in commercial use. It's not used for passenger or freight. It's all diesel now, so it's not like they really need it. But I think it's been here such a long time that what else do? You just keep it. There is quite a few things like that. You never notice them until someone says, "Oh, look at that! That's that should be this now." In modern times, but you still keep it because everyone knows what it means. So yeah, there you go, whistle board or whistle sign or whatever you want to call it. That one's a bit faded. I think the sea's hit it many times, and Son's had it. It's all concrete in, so it don't go flying. But I remember walking down here in the summer, before this metal road was here, when it was just a marsh, and on the ground was an old whistle board, what had fallen down and it just been smashed up by the sea down bottom, and obviously this was the replacement. But if you can see the replacement on this, it looks like it's a few fair years old, so that one down there must have been ancient, you know. But originally, if you see proper original whistle signs, they'd be cast. It'd just be like a solid W in cast. And this is, you know, this is a sign with a laminated word on, you know. So, but yeah, that's an interesting fact for the day, that is. Just remember, look, 52 years since we had whistle boards, but we've still got them, so I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? So, that big brush on that digger up there, I thought originally that, you know, nylon brushes, you know, like you get on a road sweeper, you know, so like that kind of what you get, almost like what you get in your brush at home, really. But it turns out that actually the other rollers are all this metal. So I think that's proper tough stuff, and then that sort of maybe comes down behind it. You know, it's like nylon first, metal, nylon. You know, so that's really tough cleaning. It looked like bits of, you know, like proper wire, like cable, but obviously I think that's obviously when it's sat in the thing. Because there's loads of this everywhere, and it's all on the banking. So it must be off the brushes of the digger. But I tell you what, it is absolutely everywhere. And just think about the animals. Get that on them, you know, sharp, get that in them, tangled in the legs. That won't bother them, but even you could swallow that, you know, you choke on that because it's plastic. And they're always banging on about plastic on beaches. So, you know, that, and then that's really, you know, there's all these sheep. And we've been walking down there and we've seen foxes and badgers on the railway line. Even cats, you know, household cats coming out, you know, for nighttime hunting. You know, get that stuck in them and you know about it. So it's a bit, you know, they need to get on the job and stop chucking rubbish about. I know I'm chucking that down there like it's rubbish, but I'm just showing you it's not really it's not really my problem to pick all that up. Maybe some people would pick that up and put it in the bin, but it's only going to happen again, isn't it? But maybe they might listen and pick them up, but you know, what can you do, really? Well, look, that's me, that is. Thomas Edward. In there, look, there he is. Tell you what, famous on Instagram, at Model Andrews Off-Road, and Thomas Edward on YouTube. Look at that. Proper job. Gotta get over here now. Whoa. There you go. Remember, when you go and play in dirt and look at dirt, always wash your boots off after. You don't want treading that in the house. It's all loopy stuff. But anyway, that's another video for the day, I think. So thanks for coming along, you know, and I've seen what's been going on the wall, and I hope you've enjoyed it, because some people might be a bit boring that, but some people in the know or local or wants to know what's going on at wall, at least you got a bit of an idea. You know, it's not being kept under like the I brushed it under carpet sort of thing, you know, and you don't know what's going on. But anyway, that's what they're doing, and hope you enjoyed it, like I just said. And remember to like, subscribe, comment, always comment, because, you know, I've had a few comments, but it'd be nice to hear what the rest of you think. So always drop a comment and click that big bell. Ding! See you later. Well, don't go. There's an update. There's some lights turned up. Some they're like big jennies with like big lights on, with like probably like a couple of thousand lumen a piece on each of those lamps. So it looks like they're going to be doing a night work, but also look what they sat on. They sat on a little dolly, like a railway dolly. Look, it's actually on train wheels underneath with brakes on it. And I think that's going to go on the digger, the rail digger, and they push that along. And look up here, it's got like a buckeye on it with proper, I think, are the air brakes on them. It's pretty smart, that is. So these have arrived, and then with about 4 lights on, with lots of, you know, little lights on top. So serious stuff. And even look, it's charging up. It's got a little solar panel on it, and it's got they're in a cradle, so that telehandler what we saw can come and pick them up and take them up to the sea wall. But behind us, I think these big wooden bits to put on the rail so they can drop the digger on it. I think that's what they're for. And then behind it, they've put a new attachment for one of the diggers. What's it looks like a big dredging bucket or earth, moving earth, because it's not really made for moving rocks because it hasn't got any teeth on it, and it's got a Made in Scotland flag on it. If you can see that, there you go, Made in Scotland. So it's all branded up as Stillbart Rail. It's pretty good. So anyway, that's the update. So I'm sorry it was a bit of a late one, but they just turned up and I thought let's put it in the video while I was editing it. So there you go. See you in a bit.